What do you do if somebody that you're married to, if somebody that you're living with has got an alcohol problem and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it? I'm Kevin O'Hara for Habits Unplugged and alcoholmastery.com. We're here to try and help people to stop drinking alcohol, to stay off alcohol, and to build the life that they want to live, the life that they'll never go back to alcohol. If you like these videos, consider subscribing. Click on the like button below, because it really helps us to spread the message out. So if you want to help us to do that, you click on the like button. So today's video is from a comment that we got on YouTube, and it was from Tina Diaz, and she says, "Watching made me cry because my husband is all I've got, and he's been great to me, but he started to get into alcohol and the relationship has really changed. It's like he's a different person drunk, and whenever he's getting drunk, I'm by myself. I'm by myself most of the time, and sometimes I don't know where he is sometimes, and I don't know if I have the strength to leave him because I'm so in love with him, but I'm trying to get him out of it. Recently I gave in. I gave up on saying anything because it turns into a fight, or it's just like he thinks it's a joke. I'm hurting every day. I've had multiple breakdowns. I don't know what I can do to help him anymore, but I know I have to wait till he is ready to change, but I don't know what will happen." This was a great video, thank you. This was a video that I did on relationships, and most of these videos I always say to people, look, it's very difficult for you to do anything when it's not your problem, when it's somebody else's. So somebody else has to be in, has to want to change in order for them to change. But I have to think about this from the perspective of an individual, right? We're all individuals, regardless of whether you're in a family or you're whatever it is, you're an individual within that group. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you control? This is a question I ask alcohol users all the time when they come to Habits Unplugged. One of the first things is we dig into, what is your control? What is it that you control above everything else? And I'll ask the same thing to you as a person in a relationship and somebody else is there with drinking alcohol. You have to look at yourself as an individual person. You have to look at yourself and your reaction, how you're reacting to this. The alcohol user themselves, they need help. I try to encourage people, look, if you're in a relationship and somebody else is drinking, please give them the benefit of the doubt, give them the time to change, and keep pushing them to change. But sometimes it's going to get to the stage where you've got to think about things for yourself. Again, this is something that I say to people all the time when they come to me with alcohol problems. It's, you've got to think of yourself. You've got to put yourself up here before everything else. You've got to look after whatever it is that you need to do. Think about it like when you get onto an airplane and you've got children with you, and the flight attendant says, if we go down and the gas masks or the air masks come down, put yours on first, because if you can't help yourself, you're not going to be able to look after your children, right? So another thing that we look at with drinkers is the pain and pleasure principle, right? We're either moving towards pleasure or moving away from pain, and sometimes you've got to look at this again from both sides. Look at it from your perspective, your pain and pleasure. Look at it from your husband's perspective, his pain and pleasure, or if somebody else is watching this, from your partner, whatever it is, your partner's perspective, their pain and pleasure. So you look at that from both sides, and change almost always comes about when the pain has gone to a degree where you can't stand it anymore. From your personal perspective, whether you can, the pain of your relationship has gone so far that you can't, somebody's got to change. Either the partner's got to change, the drinking's got to change, or you're going to change your circumstances yourself. Same thing goes with the alcohol user. They get to a stage where they need to change themselves. They go to, the pain has become so great for them that they can't help but change. So have a look at that. A lot of the time you're going to find that your husband just needs pressure from you. If he feels the same way about you, if he loves you, then you applying pressure all the time. Keep applying steady pressure on him. You don't like him drinking, you don't appreciate him drinking, you don't feel safe when he's drinking, you don't feel like the relationship is there. Everything that you said in this video, look at the things that, don't turn it into an argument, just state things, the facts from your end, from your perspective. Don't do it while he's using, don't do it while he's drinking or while he's drunk or anything like that, because that's not going to help anyone. It's going to be just a confrontation. Try and do these things when from a non-confrontational perspective yourself as well. Like I say, just state the facts. Just say, look, this is the way it is. If you can, take him out into a place where there can be no argument, out in public somewhere, in a restaurant, and just say, look, this is the way I want to talk to you about this. We want to talk reasonable and set the standard before you even start, and say, this is not what I signed up for. This is something that I don't really want to do in my life. So, like I say, non-confrontational, not from an emotional perspective. Don't get upset, or try not to get upset, and just come from a very factual basis. You're coming from your perspective. You can't speak from his perspective. You have to speak from things from your own perspective. This is what I think. This is what I believe. This is how I'm seeing this whole thing, right? And whatever you do, have a look at things from that perspective of where do you think you're going to be in 5 years' time. This is one of the things that we do in Habits Unplugged. We get a person to look at their own life from where they are now, looking ahead 5 years. On one aspect of this, they look towards carrying on drinking. What is their life going to turn out like if they continue to drink? Usually for me, when I started out with this journey, when I was going through this process, I was looking at myself from the perspective of obviously deteriorating health, deteriorating life opportunities, just everywhere, my life was deteriorating. So the other side of that then is looking at your life from the perspective of, if you do quit drinking alcohol, and you can share this with your husband, but I'm saying to you, you do it from your perspective as well. You look at your life from the perspective of where you are now and where you think you're going to be in 5 years' time if your husband doesn't quit drinking, right? Where you're going to be in 5 years' time on the other side of it if he does stop drinking. It's two really good vantage points from your perspective to look at this from, just to see if you want to stick out this relationship or if you don't want to stick out with it. But anyway, I wish you the best of luck. I hope everything works out well with you, and take care of yourself. If you are having problems with quitting drinking alcohol and you want my help, if you want our help, either Alcohol Mastery or Habits Unplugged, we've got a $1 trial on the Habits Unplugged. We've always got that, so you can come across to. You'll see that in any of the emails that we send out to you. There's also a book there, Habits Unplugged, 10 Steps to Stop Drinking Alcohol. It's absolutely free. Download it, open it up, read the book, and it will certainly help you to see things from a different perspective. All right, take care of yourself. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.